Marriage is the biggest decision of your life.
Love is like a spark, it can come and die, but respect, you should maintain respect.
Have you seen any couple come back from the brink of divorce? If I am going to go in a relationship, there is a possibility that my heart can be broken. And that's why sometimes people don't even go into a relationship because they're just so afraid of the heartbreak.
The fear of what's gonna happen to you, making it happen to you.
Instead of just putting a little bit of effort, they're getting divorced because they're bored. Why get married in the first place?
Hello everyone and welcome back to Wiser Together. This is your host Parmeet with your co-host Anas Pasha. Today's guest is very special. As always, we always bring special guests. People always come to me and say every guest is special. They are special to me. So let me start by saying that again. We have Mr. Ali today, ex-judge, family lawyer, and author of the best-selling book, The Forgotten Art of Happiness. It's a privilege and honor to have you here with us.
Thank you, Parmeet. Thank you, Anas, for having me.
So tell me, Ali, what's happiness in you? What's your everybody has a different definition. What's your definition for happiness?
Yeah, there are so many definitions of happiness, and I was really confused when I was trying to find one to share it with people when I was writing the book. One of the definitions that I have found is be satisfied with what life offers you, and be satisfied with what you offer to life. This is one good definition of happiness, because I want to feel that I'm offering something to the world around me, and also I want to feel that I get rewarded for what I offer. And this balance of like giving and taking can be a good source of your happiness. But I found, I believe that the most accurate definition of happiness is the continuous experience of positive emotions, not the permanent, because you cannot have permanent experience of positive emotions, but at least you are structuring your life in a way that is making you experience positive emotion as much as I can. And also, one of the ways that you can have positive emotions is to not always look for positive emotions, because looking, like Mark Manson said in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, that the continuous pursuit of positive emotions or positive experience is a negative experience.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to accept when it comes the negative experience and the negative emotions, but also you can be structuring your life in a way that will produce the positive emotion either on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, on a life basis. So, and this can happen through covering all the aspects of you as a human being.
What would those be?
Yeah, the body, the mind, the soul. And you can be covering the body by taking care of it, eating well, exercising, taking breath showers, because we can take a shower for our body, but we don't take enough breath meal every day. We don't take deep breaths every day. Yeah, we all most of our breaths are shallow. So taking care of your body in general, all the aspects of your body, taking care of your mind, what you are feeding in your mind, you take care of the food that you are eating. Also, you take care of who are you listening to, and when you are listening to them, what are the content that you are consuming, either on social media or in radio or in television. What are the people around you are saying to you? Are you filtering these people? Are you filtering what they are saying? This is feeding yourself with the positive affirmation and the positive information, like listening to books, listening to useful content. And the third thing is your soul, is by having the right people in your life. The most important thing in being happy, and a very big pillar in being happy, is sitting and having relationships with people that you don't put a mask when you are with them. And it's very rare to find.
Yes.
Because we all put mask at work, we put mask in some groups of friends, we put mask
I'm just curious. Are you quoting Robert Greene here about this?
No, I don't. I read two or three of his books, but I don't
Yes.
remember reading this. Maybe I.
He talks about it. He talks about the whole mask analogy, and I agree with you.
Yeah. So when you find someone or a group that you can just sit with and be yourself 100% authentically without putting any mask, this is a bliss, and you should be very grateful for this. So this is briefly how you can be happy by structuring your life to have positive experience as much as you can. And the misconception that I want people to get rid of is this is something that you can do. You don't stumble. There is a book called Stumbling on Happiness. You don't stumble on happiness. This is something that you have intentionally do in your life. Yes, you have to plan your day, your week, your month, your year in order to be happy. You will not just meet someone that will make you happy or something that happened to you from an external factor that will make you happy.
Maybe momentarily, but
Yes, yes. Yeah, like you can see the fireworks in Burj Khalifa
Yeah,
and the
you'll be
New
happy
Year's
for-
Eve.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be here for 5 minutes, but this is not something that you can rely on.
Yes.
You can rely on the thing that you plan and you do yourself. So I wanted to say that this is something that you can do intentionally on your life, and the misconception is that because we have the the buzz that they have in Got Talent show, like
Yeah.
Arab Got Talent. We have this culture now, like the golden buzzer culture, that we want someone to come and like put
Entertain.
his hand on a button and our life will change. No, this is not gonna happen. The golden buzzer culture, this is not gonna happen to you. This is very, very, very rare to happen to someone, and you have to put yourself in a place that it's most likely gonna happen to you. But don't rely on something that like this happening in your life that will change your life in a moment, like the golden buzzer. That's why they make it. They make it because it's very tempting to look to. They have this golden buzzer, like, yeah, I want someone to get into my life and put his hand on the golden buzzer,
and my
and
life
they will be very
changes.
successful and healthy and
Yeah.
have a good relationship. This is not gonna happen. You have to gradually every day build the life that you dream about. And you might meet you most likely gonna meet the golden buzzer when you are doing this. But if you are not like every day gradually building the life that you want to
Yes.
live, it's like less likely that you're gonna meet the golden buzzer person.
I agree.
Just to be clear, this golden buzzer, we're talking about a partner here, or like an opportunity, or
Whatever, like for an entrepreneur, it might be an investor. Like I'm gonna sit and like the the angel investor will come to me. For someone who's looking for a relationship, it can be like the
I
perfect
see.
partner.
It's like having that one overarching desire that if I get this thing, if I do this,
And I'm
I will
waiting
be
for
happy.
it, and I'm just passively waiting for it.
And
For an author, can be like a publisher will call me and
Yeah.
tell me like
For you, I believe it was being a judge, which myth was busted, right? Because you, I believe I saw it in your podcast that you thought that becoming a judge will make you
Yes,
happy.
yes. That's what pushed me to write the book about happiness, because I was in a place that I should be happy, but I wasn't. So I start to challenge the stereotype of the idea that being in a certain place or a position or a title should make you happy. Because I was in this place that a lot of people are dreaming about, and I was not
Yeah.
happy. That's why I question, because I was in the place that I'm getting into the normal route that people talk about to achieve happiness at the end of your life, and most people who follow this route end up not being happy. So why should I stay in this queue while in the like when I will reach the ticket window is not gonna be happiness. I cannot buy happiness from this window. So I feel that I went out of the queue and I started to question everything that we believe about happiness, and I found something called positive psychology. It's like the science of well-being, the science of happiness. It has been founded in the 70s by someone called Martin Seligman. he found it because when he studied psychology, he found out that all the researches that has happened in the psychology has been only to make the sick person a normal person, but there is no researches and studies that will make the normal person a happier person. So he decided to make this science in order to find the practices and the methods that will make the normal person much happier and better.
Much happier, yeah. Ali, I mean, definitely today is a very exciting and a special episode because not every day do we have a family lawyer, a person who has so much experience in human relationship as you have. I mean, you must have seen everything. And I'm sure like our viewers and personally me and Parmeet both are very curious about human psychology when it comes to this, because most of our episodes and most of our guests, in fact our entire lives, have just been focusing on ourselves as a person. But I just want to understand, when we add another person such as a life partner into the mix, how does that affect happiness? And if I were to like rephrase it, how important is a right life partner when it comes to happiness?
I think a lot of people would like to know this.
Actually, what I believe about relationship is like we are not tested in the right way unless we have someone that we talk to on a regular basis. Because when you are alone, you don't have any one to challenge whatever you do, whatever you believe in, whatever you think about. That's why a lot of people want to get a pet, because the pet cannot challenge you. Like a dog or a cat, they cannot like tell you are wrong, what you are doing is
Interesting.
wrong.
That's a very interesting take. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Accept you the way you are.
Yeah.
Yes. No, they don't accept you, but they cannot talk to you. If I believe, like
I mean, they probably are trying to say something.
Yeah, but they can't.
yes, I imagine if the dogs and cats that are living in someone's house can talk, they can do.
Oh,
They
yeah,
can
the
say,
things that
we
they
are
would say."
suffering with you. What are you doing to us? Let me alone. I was eating happily somewhere else. But we take them, and because we wanted this attention, but without the challenge. That's why I didn't get a pet till now. I'm not against someone who's having a pet. Everybody's like free to do whatever he wants. But I wanted to emphasize and explain the idea of being in a relationship will challenge you and will reveal whatever's good or bad in you, and we should not take it in a way that it's something against us, or we have to defend ourselves against this person. No, we should take it as a learning experiment, as a learning experience. What am I knowing? What am I learning about myself through this relationship? How am I reacting, reflecting on my reaction to the other person? This can teach me a lot about myself. And also, I didn't talk about the right partner yet, like we will come to this, but I'm talking about the concept of how we can approach relationships in general. It's a learning experience, and also one of the problems that we face in a relationship is attachment. We get too attached, but sadly, all of us gonna die. So at some point, this person will leave you, either like by breakup or by death or by whatever. So that getting too attached to anything on anyone is something that I believe it's irrational, and we should, it can be sad talking about it, but we should face it, because nothing is permanent in this life, and this is the truth that we have to deal with. So yes, love someone, love something, love whatever you own or you possess, but don't get too attached to it, because either it's gonna leave you or you're gonna leave it. So this is the second problem with the relationship. Finding the right partner, I believe that being the right partner will attract the right partner to you. So I cannot ask for a fit partner while I'm eating McDonald's every day and I'm drinking, eating donuts and not being in a good shape.
Kind of like matching their frequency
Yes,
before
yes,
you can
because you're
attract.
gonna meet it. You're gonna meet the girl or the guy very easily if you are matching the frequency and the same vibration that she has. So, because when you are doing this, you are gonna be in the places of the people who are doing this. Like,
Correct, yeah, and it's an even more reasonable ask. May I add one thing? Like this is something personally I have adopted to my life in the past couple of years, and this obviously comes from Robert Greene in his book of 48 Laws of Power. He talks about this concept of mirroring. It's a very simple concept because I also suffered from this disease of over attachment and just going beyond and taking 8 steps, blah blah blah, and just creating these false expectations and everything, because I believe that there's always a gap of communications and expectation. That's it. If we can just sort these things out, then we can manage very healthy reasonable relationships and the things that you're talking about. So the concept of mirroring is a very simple thing. To whomever they want to apply, they can test it in their friends, family, anywhere they want. It's just the concept goes a very simple thing, that you take one step and then you wait for the person to take one step, and that's how you evolve things very organically. You see that you are taking a step, the other person also taking the step towards the same direction with the same frequency, same intensity, then you're allowed to take the next step. That way, everything goes at a very smooth progression, and you're able to have a very sustainable relationship.
yeah, like to implement this, you can write all the traits or how your partner you want them to be, and look at it like, am I matching this? Am I this person? Like, am I fit? Am I open minded? Am I cultured? Am I like a morning person? Am I like all the things that you desire in the partner that you are looking for? Are you matching this? Because yeah, because we are exposed also to a lot of lives now through social media. We want more without doing more. So I believe if we work on ourselves, we can meet the right partner very easily.
I thought of it in the way that, like, what would I actually journaled a lot on this as well, like what would my ideal partner look like, and that being my ideal partner, what would that person want to have as a partner,
Yes.
is what I want to become, is the gap I want to close. And yeah, that gave me a lot of clarity about who I want to be internally, because the kind of partner I want is coming from the soul. Obviously, on the surface, I'm a different person, and we have all these layers kind of, covering our soul. You can call it conditioning, you can call it perception. There's a lot of these things, but it's very interesting. But I feel like finding the right partner can make or break your life. And you being in this industry, being a family lawyer, divorce lawyer, I'm sure you have a lot of experience on this. So talk to me more about how important this is and why it's so important.
Yeah, like if you have a purpose, I believe this more also, if I may say, applies to men, because men, I believe, men with a purpose is a happy man. So you should be with someone who's supporting your purpose. If you saw the movie, the founder of McDonald's, at some point he he decided to divorce his wife because she was not matching his purpose. Um, I don't want to get into the details of it was wrong or right, but at least you should be having someone who's believing in you, because if you have someone who doesn't believe in your purpose or your passion or your dream or whatever you want to achieve, uh, it's gonna be a very hard life for them and you.
Let's put it this way, like I have a scenario in my mind right now. Like you as a divorce lawyer have obviously seen so many things and have facilitated as well. And we were having this discussion a bit as well, that when you also would like to get married is based on the characteristic that you mentioned. So right now we can see that you are in, like, the prime of your life. You're doing so many things, involved in so many things, and visibly you're a happy man. So right now, like you in the future, if you would like to get married and you've seen so many miserable couples, because I assume, if I can safely say, the divorce couple or the couples who are in that proceeding, they're sort of miserable, right? That's why I assume they want to get divorced. So why would you as well would want to go for marriage when you've seen so much? Why would you want to alter this stage?
I don't want to go
Which
for
I was
Good answer.
expecting. I was expecting a different reply.
no, but
All right.
if I want to go for marriage, I would go with someone, as I told you, someone to complement and add to my life, and also I would add and complement to her life.
Not for the sake of it. And that's very rare to
Yeah.
find, right? Like, marriage is the biggest decision of your life. I do believe this, right? The most important voice is the voice within you, and the second most is with your partner, because you're having the most discussion with them. So,
It's important. Why? Because, like, if we talk specifically why it's important, it affects your weight. And if you are living with someone who's eating a lot, you will be eating a lot.
Yes,
If
yes,
you
yes,
are,
yeah,
if you are, if you are living with someone who doesn't exercise, it will be very hard for you to exercise. If you are, it's a very also crucial financial decision. So if you are living with someone who is irresponsible about money, you will become irresponsible about money. It will be very hard for you to save. If you are living with someone who's always watching TV, not working on themselves, wasting their time on whatever social media or whatever useless content.
yeah.
you
But
will-
like you said, like if for example, okay, so these characteristics you mentioned, personally for me, like I wouldn't want those in a partner, right? So I wouldn't go with that partner. So I guess what I'm trying to understand is that what happens, like what happens during the stage when you find that ideal partner, and when that marriage, God forbid, like starts to fall apart, and like you know what is happening in between, that their state of mind has suddenly changed, or what changes?
there is different reasons. One of the reasons is the couple lose respect to each other.
Respect.
Yeah, not love.
Respect.
You can lose
contempt.
love.
Oh, okay, I see.
The love can, because love is like a spark, it can come and die, but respect, you should maintain respect. The moment that you lose respect for your partner, the moment that your marriages fall apart, even if you stay in the marriage because of the kids or because of the financial or because of whatever, but it will be a broken marriage. So
That's the number one reason
Yeah.
why marriages would fall apart.
Yeah.
I've read this somewhere as well, like, and it's very important that they did a study where they were able to see in couples, and from 10 years prior, if they would
Yes,
end up in a
yes.
divorce or not.
Yes.
And the one thing that they were able to judge this by was through contempt, and just feeling of just neglecting what the other person is saying, not giving it enough
Yes.
consideration.
So respect is very important thing.
Yes.
Whenever it's broken, it's very hard to be built back. The other very important thing that you should be initiating in your marriage in order to maintain it for a very long time is authenticity and open communication.
Correct.
A lot of the people that I see that are going through divorce is because they are not communicating their desires to each other. A way that I say it is don't be angry and silent. Don't talk at the same moment. Communicate whatever you want in an elegant way, in the right moment, in a polite way, but communicate it. Don't shut up for a very long time, because if you don't communicate whatever you don't like in the other person, these things are gonna be accumulating for a very long time, and at some point after 10 years you will be very angry and you don't know why you are angry, but because you were accumulating all your dislikes and desires for a very long time.
Have you seen any couple come back from the brink of divorce?
They don't come to me when they come back. They come to me only when they break up.
Like miraculously, something happened in the courtroom, and they're like, "Okay, let's just okay, we'll get along now." Has it ever happened?
No.
Not even one case.
Unfortunately, no. Because it doesn't happen in the courtroom. It happens like amicably in her father's house or his father's house, like, or their house together. But also one of the reasons that the marriage is or the relationship is broken is the interference of other people in the.
Yes. Yes,
So
yeah.
Wrong kind of interference.
yes, she's talking to her best friend or to her mother, and
Yeah.
he's talking to his best friend,
Yep.
and they are interfering and give her their opinion. No, they keep it private as much as you can, unless there is like a physical harm or a verbal harm. Don't like let
It's between them two, right?
Yeah,
And
they're
involving
they're
the-
listening to somebody else's voice instead of
Yes.
listening to their own voice.
yeah, and the voice of their partner. Yeah, communicate what you are angry about in and what you
No,
don't.
I'll even take that back. I mean, they're listening. They're like 2 or 3 steps behind. They're listening to somebody else's voice. So first they have to remove that. Then they have to deal with the negative voices inside their head. So they have to remove that as well. And then they have to listen to the voice of reasoning, the things that you're talking about, like not getting angry and silence, communication, openly expressing their desires and everything. So they're like 2, 3 steps behind.
Yeah, if you want to go go to a family counselor. Go to someone who can really help you, not like your
actually help you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your friends will only give you. They're not professional.
Yeah,
anyway.
they either like the your best friend is either he's not married or he has also a marriage that is
That's not
that
working.
is,
Yeah.
that is doing very well. So go to someone who is a professional.
I have a question regarding communication. You said it's very important to just share what is going on and everything. But I've noticed this, and especially women. Something's wrong. You have to ask them, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? You have to ask them like you can see it on their faces because they'll like express it through their body language, but they just won't say it. So you have to ask, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And 10 times you ask, and then like they tell you. So why do they like?
No, why do women do that? I don't know the reason, but
But you agree? Like,
Yes,
everything-
yeah, I agree. That's why all the coaches now, that the relationship coaches, also when you see content on the internet about relationship coaching, are encouraging women to communicate whatever they want or whatever they dislike. Like, don't be angry and sad
Yeah.
and silent. So I believe this is something wrong. Like, I know women want the attention, and I know women want us to assume.
That's innate, like
Yes,
the emotion.
yes, but you have to overcome this and communicate it until a point when the man, like in the beginning, yes, you will have to communicate for the man to understand you and know about you. But after a while, if he really loves you, he will do it without you telling him. But in the beginning, at least you are adapting to each other. You are two different persons. Communicate whatever you dislike. Communicate whatever you want in the relationship. And after a while, it will happen like smoothly and easily. But don't be stubborn. Like
Correct. And in my experiences as well, it's just you communicate, you say, and then it's done. Between Parmeet and I, our relationship as running this podcast and Wiser, it has always been like this as well. Like we've been just very vocal because I feel like, I mean, relationship, yes. Men and women, we're talking about the classical form of relationship between a man and a woman, but relationship
Yeah, yeah.
exists beyond
Any-
so many
any-
things,
yeah.
like friends as well, you know, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So communication is just
Yeah.
essential.
It's not easy, and it takes a lot of courage. And also,
Yes.
like, I believe everything leads to everything. If you are de-attached, we talked about attachment. If you are de-attached and like happy with yourself alone, you can communicate whatever you want because you are not afraid that the other person gonna leave you, because I'm gonna be good without you. But if I'm gonna choose to be in a relationship, I prefer to be in a relationship that is authentic, that making me and you happy. So I'm communicating, I'm doing this brave, noble act because for the benefit of the relationship, and I'm not afraid of what will happen, because
Beautiful.
what makes people don't talk and don't communicate whatever they want or whatever they don't want is fear. They are know what he's gonna think about me, what she's gonna think about
Exactly.
me. Like, you can, like, it's also about how you
It's your
communicate.
partner. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be thinking.
Yes.
Which brings me back to what you and Parmeet were talking about, the duality. Like you said that if I am going to go in a relationship, there is a possibility that my heart can be broken. And that's why sometimes people don't even go into a relationship because they're just so afraid of the heartbreak. So that's just like with anything in life, guys. I mean, you like with any challenges in life, you know, like if you're going to play any sports, there's a possibility that you can get injured. So if you're just not taking on any relationship or not believing in the institution of marriage or anything of that sort just because you're going to get hurt, well, bad news for you guys, because that's going to happen in everything in life.
Yeah, the fear of what's gonna happen to you, making it happen to you, for, like to
Yes,
explain.
you're almost manifesting it. If you
Manifesting it,
keep
yeah.
thinking about it, you're almost
No,
manifesting it.
also no. But if you are afraid of being heartbroken, you will be always alone. If you are, if you have the fear of being poor to go into this startup or do this project, you are gonna be end up in the same financial situation that you are in. So you are already in the place that you are afraid to be in.
Your fear is already present, you're already living it. And regarding communication, I feel like, especially in like, if we step back, okay, let's look at a couple. If we step back and know that the sole objective of us being a couple is to improve this relationship, it's not about you or me, it's about you and me together, then having these conversations become easy because we're moving towards the same goal. It's not about protecting your interest or my interest, we're protecting one single interest, which is the betterment of this relationship. Singular objective. So if we're both moving towards the same direction, that's what keep at focal point.
I see it this way, like we are not in front of each other, we are beside each other, and we are overcoming
Yes,
this
sir.
challenge
Yes,
together.
Yes, sir.
exactly. That's a
Because-
very good way to
Together.
put
Yeah.
it.
So
Very good way
like
to put
when I imagine like a man so like a beautiful woman and like he admired her, if he went to his wife and tell her so, and they can go, and I want you to overcome this with me, I want you to help me overcome this, it's gonna be much easier and better if he just like be silent, cheating in the dark, and like,
Yes, yes. It leads to these
making
things.
password on his mobile.
Yeah.
So
It becomes toxic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it takes a lot of courage to do it. But it's gonna be better if he asks for help. Like, help me to overcome this together. This is a challenge, not me facing or you facing. That like that our challenge together, and we're gonna face it together.
Ali, I mean, it's incredible because you're not only a judge, but you have done so many of these courses that you were talking about, and you're a certified trainer for a lot of things. I believe these things also help you get into great insight into human beings and why they do a particular thing. So, I want to know one shocking thing that you noticed in human behavior while dealing with all of these cases that, like, really shocked you.
No, no. Like I have a very special way to look at myself and other people. That at the end of the day, we are animals, and we are behaving like if you put us in a certain circumstances and environment, we're gonna, most of the people, 90%, we're gonna behave in a certain way. And if you want to manage a very large group of people, you have to put them in the environment that will make them behave in the way that you want. That's why you see when they lead the crowd whenever there's a concert or an event, they lead them by making a certain route.
Cues and,
Yeah.
lines.
And
Okay.
I see our behavior like when we are in groups, or we are like herds.
Correct.
Hurts,
Yeah.
yeah.
And as much as I can, I try to get out of this and to reflect, to look at myself from outside. Am I behaving as like I'm giving the normal reaction of a human being whoever gonna behave in this situation, or I'm trying to be a little bit wiser and change the way that's why I always, and they love breaking the rules.
Correct.
Because like breaking the rules makes me feel human. I have something special that animals don't have. So I always question whatever is happening, whatever I'm doing, whatever other people are doing. Why am I behaving this way? Because just normal and everybody's doing it. Because there is in my upcoming book there is a chapter called the infinite whys. You have to ask yourself why, and whatever answer that comes to you from this question, you have to ask yourself why again, until you will find the root reason why you are doing this behavior, and it's gonna be shocking to you. most of our behavior are coming from a place of wanting to be liked by other people, or at least not being disliked. So yeah, this is the shocking thing. Like, we are like, treat yourself like an animal until you, and if you surrender to this reality, you can take yourself out of it and be more wiser and reflect on your action in a better way.
Okay, that is quite interesting.
It's interesting just stepping back from everything
Yeah.
and analyzing, getting a bird's eye view
Yeah.
can help us a lot in every situation, right? Which is what meditation is as well. Do you meditate?
Yeah, I wrote like also another small book called Mindfulness on Demand, because when I wrote my first book and I talked about meditation, people told me, no, I cannot do meditation. Like, people tell me, I don't focus when I meditate. That's the reason that you have to meditate. Like, someone tell me I'm too fat, I cannot go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, being fat is the reason to go to the gym,
Exactly.
not to go to the gym. So I wanted to make something very practical for people to be mindful in everyday life. Like, I want people to change the moment of anger and resentment into moments of presence. So, for example, when you are waiting for the lift, when you are waiting in the bank, when you are waiting in the bar, when you are waiting whenever, it's always looking in your phone, being angry. I want
Wanting distraction,
Yes,
yeah.
wanting distraction, or frustrated. But if you can, at this moment, scan your body, focus on your breath, look around you, use your senses, whatever practice of meditation, use it in 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute,
Yeah,
until this.
every opportunity.
It will be your life gonna be much easier, and you will have more presence and more mindfulness in your body, and you're gonna be a happier person, and you're gonna see a lot of stuff that you cannot see when you are just rushing around.
So let me take you guys on a tangent. Okay, this is a very good segment. So do you think because of too many distraction nowadays and the lack of awareness of the mindfulness is the reason why relationships are now falling apart? It's the reason why we see so many divorce rates like going up?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because the person is not seeing himself without the other person, while there is another life that can happen to them if they broke up with this person. They feel that they're gonna die, because the ego, when there is something that it gets used to, and like, I've been with this person for 5 years, so the ego is seeing that this is life, and me without this person, I'm gonna die. This is
Okay.
for the ego, not in reality. In reality, you're not
Yeah.
gonna die.
This is because you identify
Yes.
a part of your identity is based around them. So when you lose them, you lose a part of your identity that you relate so heavily with.
Yes.
And that's why.
Yeah, but if you are like taking a step back and practice mindfulness daily, you can see the whole picture objectively, reality. You can see
Not
the reality.
subjectively.
Yes. Whenever I feel like anxious or very scared of something, or a lot of worries about the future, I look around. Where am I?
Yeah.
And like,
And it's a part of practicing
Yeah,
mindfulness,
I am.
right?
I'm sitting on a chair in a safe place. Nothing happened to me. All of this is only happening in my mind.
It's all in the thoughts.
Yeah. So if people approach this relationship with this mindfulness, whenever you are very attached to something, you do stupid stuff. You do stupid things.
Correct,
But
yeah.
you are not. Yeah, I'm attached. I love, but not very intensely. Not in a crazy way. Not in a irrational way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this person, but like, I'm gonna live without him, and he can live without me.
And that's how it should be, because you shouldn't be dependent or attached. But because being extremely dependent on the other person or being attached to the other person, that brings toxicity, right? You being as a whole how you are and fulfilled within yourself, and the other person being fulfilled within themselves, and then you guys coming together is what it is. It's not half.
Yeah,
You as the one
yes,
and the
yes.
other person as the whole.
Yes. Yeah, because you are complete yourself, you can walk. And
Exactly,
While
yeah.
seeing you, like, you have 2 arms, you have 2 legs. There is no half of you that is missing.
There's no better half.
Yeah.
You have to find that in yourself.
What do you think has changed between our parents' generation and today's generation?
In
Like the
terms of
whole
like,
the idea, the institution of marriage?
Esther Perel, my favorite relationship expert. You can follow her. Like she's very useful. She's talking about like for our parents, it's like you get divorced when it's like very very hard and unbearable to live with this person. But now we are getting divorced because we are bored. We are not committed enough to the relationship.
I see.
We are very have intolerance to inconvenience whenever something is inconvenient, because also the I culture, the iPhone, the iPad, the I whatever has made an individualistic culture when is I am the most important thing in life. Yes, you are important, but also there is other people who are living with you. That's why we have rules. We have rules. We have speed limits. We had a lot of rules.
Damn, that's just sad.
Yeah.
Instead of just putting a little bit of effort, they're getting divorced because they're bored. Why get married in the first place?
Because
Because they were bored.
They want to post it on Instagram.
Are you serious right now?
No, sometimes like the tolerance for inconvenience that we have now is way less than our parents.
Yeah, but that also sounds to me like people have made like this beautiful institution, like something just needs to be done, and just something that just get it out of the way, and something which is like a toy, like just go ahead and just use it whenever you like. It's the value of like the institution has it
I
been
think the
crumbled? Like,
intensity of commitment that was within our parents' minds,
Yes.
lifestyle and society.
The values
was
has
much-
changed. The whole
values
value
have
system has
Yeah,
changed.
it's not as big of a commitment right now for good and bad reasons. It's very contextual. So
Yeah.
it just depends what situation you're in. I mean, you should be able to get out of marriage
Yes.
if the circumstances are such, and be in contact with Mr. Ali, and he'll help you out. But no, like before, prevention is better than
Yeah.
cure, right?
Yeah.
So just know before you get into it that why you're getting into it. What is this commitment? What does this entail? What are my responsibilities?
Yes, one of the reasons that there was a period in Malaysia when they were having a very high divorce rate, so they made it mandatory for 6 months courses for couples in order to like, have a permission or certificate to get married. It's mandatory to take this course, because one of the reasons of people getting divorced is they get overwhelmed with the responsibilities that they get from marriage, so they either divorce or withdraw, like they are absent from each other's life, because no, I don't want all of this relationship, all of these responsibilities.
so to me, it looks like there's a lot of gaps, like even from the parents' end as well. I don't think then, like I might be wrong, and I myself am not a parent as well, but I don't think parents are doing a good job then. Like parents aren't training their children enough. Like they're just, of course, marriage is a thing. It's unfortunately it's like a milestone that you have to pass and you have to achieve, but they're not like mentally preparing them that like these are the things that come with marriage, like these are the responsibilities that come with it. Because unfortunately what I've seen is that people who are married also get into extramarital affairs, and that to me is quite disgusting. And I always wonder, like, if that is the case, then why get married in the first place? Why not raise your voice in front of your parents that like you're not ready, you're not mature, or that sort of stuff. And then from the children's part as well, like I said, that they should be vocal about their lifestyle, about their choices. If they would like to get married or not. Sometimes I feel like they might be pressured because of societal things, because of religious circumstances as well. So if there are like lots of gaps, why would they even opt into it? And I would ask you as well, like when these proceedings are happening, or when you are giving out these rulings or whatever, I don't know how it works, but what is the role of the parent over there? What are they doing? Are they just bystanders, or?
Actually, if I may have a different point of view of this, that I don't give parents' responsibilities that they don't have. Like you are like above 18, above 21, you should be responsible.
This is especially in our society, it happens a lot. And back home,
Yeah, in
it's
our
not
society
fun.
also, I'm from
Yeah.
Egypt, so there is a lot of pressure, but also we come back to courage and bravery. Y- I believe that 95% of all the problems of anyone will be solved if he is courageous and brave enough.
Correct.
And one part of being brave is like I stand up before my parents. I will not get married now. I'm not ready now.
Exactly.
Uh, and if you are getting married, it's not the responsibility of the parents to teach you about marriage. You can read books. You have the internet now. You can learn what is marriage before get.
If they're not forcing them, because like Parmeet said, that's a huge part in our society, in the South Asian society. There's like a certain expiration date, unfortunately.
But even if they are, like, it's you who have to spend your life. Because, okay, to give you some context, me personally, my brother got married 2 years ago. Now, constantly, my mother has one single job above every other job is to get me married. And I understand that she wants to see that, but it's up to you, because you have to be wise. You have to know that what it is. It's a big decision. You have to live.
You're
with
gonna
that
pay the
person.
price.
You're gonna pay the price. They're just gonna enjoy a dance
Yes.
at your wedding, and
Yeah.
that's their job is done,
Exactly.
right? Parents just want to get you married, because especially in our society, one big thing for parents is like, if you get them married, then they're not as much like their job is done. You know what
yes,
I mean?
Yes, they have milestones for like as they have passed all the milestone of the society. You have to let their son and daughter pass this milestone. After that, they
Yeah,
can.
like halas,
As
I'm
they've
done.
done themselves.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, which is very wrong, and it's changing. It's
Yeah.
changing.
Yeah, but it's our responsibility. I believe also it's the responsibility of the person to communicate
Correct, yeah,
his
correct.
his emotions. He communicate whatever he think about marriage and relationships to his parents, and to stand up, because they are not gonna kill you.
Yeah, they're not, and you're also responsible now for someone else's happiness
Yeah,
as well. This is
yeah.
what like my entire thing is, that like, if you are happy right now, if you are in a neutral state, if you are clear minded and everything, no need to play with fire. No need to add things to yourself to the mix that might like create a very different sort of formula, just like if you think you can, then you go ahead. And
Yes.
yeah, personally for me, like the mirror concept works very well. I've been able to establish amazing relationships, both internally, externally, and those, like I just like to relate back to the mask that you're saying. Those peel off any mask, any camouflage, any mirage there are, because you see them for what they are. They wouldn't take the other step if they weren't interested in the first
Yes,
place.
and you're not overwhelmed by you taking 10 steps. So
Exactly. You don't overthink, and you don't like, oh, blah 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 blah. Nothing
organic,
happens. It's
which is
very
very
organic,
important.
very
Yeah.
organic. That's how like we've been able to build this as well. Like 37 episodes didn't happen because like I trusted him and he trusted me, and one step led to the other, and now
In
we
any
have
relationship, I
yeah.
would say, yeah.
And another quick thing that I want to talk about, because you talked about the 7 habits of highly successful people. He talks about this deposit, this bank deposit, if you remember.
Yeah.
So I believe in a relationship, it's also important as well, like when times are tough, when things are hard, because yes, people do go through peaks and valleys. Another thing that we were talking about is to remember the deposit. Sometimes in a relationship, there is a huge deposit that if you keep withdrawing, by withdraw what I mean is a negative thing that you might do, like you might break their trust, or you might just make them sad, if you keep withdrawing, but still there is a huge deposit of past memories, past love and everything that the people need to bank on, because we are humans, and we, as much as we try, we will tend to fail. So that is one thing like I'd like people to remember as well. Yeah, just like when things are tough and things are not going the right way, just bank on your bank deposit.
Yeah,
That's
put it
amazing.
back. Put the
Wonderful.
whatever you took, like put it back
Yeah.
again. Whenever it's
Yeah.
convenient or easy to you to pay it back again.
Amazing. We're just reaching the end of it. I would just like to summarize what we discussed about happiness and ask you one question. So, one thing we discussed was that it's not constant. You can be happy majority of the time, but not all the time. It's not an overnight thing. You don't reach there overnight. You won't reach there by accomplishing one goal that you think, oh, if I become a musician or a doctor or a plumber, whatever it may be, I'll become happy. And lastly, it's by choice, not by chance. Making choices to create certain practices around your life, your soul, your body, your mind, to constantly making those choices that will make you happy. For people who might be new to this, and it is overwhelming because you have to certainly do a lot of things, right? And it's not one change that will change your life. It has to be holistic, like every aspect of your life that will change your life and make you happy. So where do people start? What is it? Should people start with gratitude? Should people start with changing their body? What would have the most profound effect?
I believe the foundation of happiness is health. You
Health.
can be happy when you are sick, but it's gonna be very hard. So
I think you're right.
take care of your health. Like whenever someone stops
Like
me,
physical health?
yes,
Okay.
yes. If your health is not taken care of, and you always feel fatigue, or you always feel tired, or you always like whenever someone
It's so
stops me,
practical.
yeah, if whenever someone, like, you wrote a book about happiness, tell me an advice about happiness, like in 5 seconds, drink more water.
So water, nutrition,
Yes.
working out, and if you're healthy, then you can be.
Because when you have like a vibrant body and an energetic body and a fit body, it's gonna be like you're gonna experience a lot of good emotions that will make you able to do the other stuff, will make you read books, meet the right people. So yeah, start with your health.
So health is at the foundation
Yes.
of it. I think that's a very good advice,
Amazing.
and a
answer.
good place to start for anybody who's looking to start.
That's an amazing
Thank you
answer.
so much,
Thank
Ali.
you.
It's
you,
it's
Amit.
been our honor,
Thank
and
you.
we've certainly
Thank you.
learned a lot of new
Thank you
things
so much.
from
It's
you.
my pleasure. I enjoyed it a lot.
And thank you to everybody watching. Please support us in any way you can, and hope you enjoyed this episode. We will see you next Sunday.
Ciao, guys.